What's up, Raider Nation? Let's dive into the latest updates from Las Vegas Raiders OTAS. The Raiders have now completed 3 of their off-season practices, with 7 more to go. While there wasn't much available from the May 22nd session, we do have solid notes from the May 21st practice. The next time the team hits the field will be on May 27th, followed by sessions on May 29th, 30th, and from June 2nd through June 5th. Now let's get into some key takeaways. One standout from recent practices has been Tommy Mellott. The coaching staff is clearly experimenting with him in the slot receiver role. Mellott, a former quarterback transitioning to wide receiver, has shown some real flashes, especially in his route running and quickness. While his hands still need improvement, his athleticism is turning heads early on. The comparison to a Julian Edelman-type role is ambitious, but Mellott is showing potential to be a unique weapon for this offense. Another player making waves is linebacker Drake Thomas, who nearly came away with a pick-6 during drills. With Amari Burney no longer in the mix, the linebacker competition is heating up. Players like Elandon Roberts and Devin White are expected to contribute, but the door is wide open for someone else to step up. Keep an eye on Cody Lindenberg as well. Reports say he's soaking up the playbook like a sponge. While there's no full evaluation yet on his on-field performance, his commitment and learning ability are promising. Linebacker Tommy Eichenberg is another name to watch. Though not known for elite athleticism, his instincts and work ethic could make him this year's breakout contributor, much like how Robert Spillane surprised fans last season. We'll keep tracking progress as the Raiders continue OTA sessions, with more updates coming after each practice. Let's continue with more news from Raiders OTAs, some breakout players, and one major question mark. Linebacker Tommy Eichenberg might not be the most athletic defender on the field, but he's proving to be one of the smartest. He consistently finds himself in the right spot at the right time, and early OTA sessions are showing that he has solid coverage ability. Some within the organization see him as a potential LB2 option, alongside Elandon Roberts, a role that's still very much up for grabs. Now, let's talk about third-round rookie corner Darian Porter, selected 68th overall. While full evaluations are still early, Porter has already spent a lot of time working with the first-team defense. That's a strong indication the coaching staff sees starting potential. There's also buzz around veteran corner Eric Stokes, who has caught the attention of the staff during recent sessions. Though Jacorian Bennett is expected to hold a starting cornerback spot, the presence of both Porter and Stokes working with the first team raises questions. Could the team be considering lineup shifts, perhaps moving someone inside to a nickel role? Speaking of the nickel corner spot, Darnay Holmes hasn't made a strong impression so far. In fact, one name to watch in that competition is Thomas Harper, who played some free safety last season. Sources suggest Harper could challenge Holmes for that slot corner position moving forward. But perhaps the most concerning development from OTAs is the absence of Thayer Munford. He has not participated in any of the recent practices, and no explanation has been provided. While there's no official injury report at this stage, it's worth noting Munford dealt with hand and knee injuries last season, missing time as a result. His absence is especially notable given the tight competition on the offensive line. If the Raiders plan to keep 9 linemen, Munford could be on the bubble. Right now, there's growing speculation that he might not make the final 53-man roster. It's even possible he could be a trade candidate if things don't improve. We'll continue monitoring his status closely as OTAs progress, especially after June 1st. Let's break down where things stand on the Raiders' offensive line heading into the heart of the offseason. Right now, the coaching staff seems confident in 8 offensive linemen who are near locks to make the 53-man roster, barring injuries or unexpected trades. That core group includes Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, JPJ, Jackson Powers Johnson, Alex Kappa, DJ Glaze, Jordan Meredith, Charles Grant, rookie, Caleb Rogers, rookie. That leaves just one possible spot if the team carries 9 linemen. The big question, who grabs that final role? 2 names are in the mix, Thayer Munford and Dalton Wagner. Munford has been part of the roster, but hasn't been participating in OTAS. His absence, without explanation, raises some red flags, especially for a player in a tight roster battle. Chemistry also matters, and Wagner seems to have built strong connections with teammates on the offensive line. Wagner, who spent last season on the practice squad, is more of a pure right tackle. At 6 feet 8 inches and 320 pounds, he's one of the biggest players on the team alongside Colton Miller. Reports suggest he's made a strong impression during off-season work and might be rising in the eyes of the new coaching regime. The Raiders also made moves this offseason that hint at Wagner having an edge. Caleb Rogers, a versatile third-round pick, offers flexibility across multiple positions. Charles Grant is expected to stay on the left side. Wagner, on the other hand, fits more cleanly as a depth option on the right, which could make him more valuable in terms of balance. If the staff, led by Pete Carroll and John Spytek, has to choose between a player showing promise and earning the respect of teammates versus one who isn't active at a critical time, Wagner might come out ahead. So, if the Raiders keep 9 linemen, don't be surprised if Dalton Wagner edges out Thayer Munford for that final spot. More updates coming soon as the Raiders continue building out their trenches, arguably one of the most important parts of the roster heading into the season. Let's dive into the latest from Raiders OTAs, specifically focusing on one of the most competitive position battles on the roster, the starting left guard. Based on reports from multiple Raiders insiders, the team's projected starting offensive line for 2025 is shaping up like this. Left tackle, Colton Miller center, Jackson Powers, Johnson, JPJ. Right guard, Alex Kappa. Right tackle, DJ Glaze. That leaves left guard as the only position still up for grabs. As of now, the two main contenders are Dylan Parham, entering the final year of his rookie deal, Jordan Meredith, who was brought back by the team this offseason. During recent practices, Parham and Meredith have been rotating with the first team, suggesting a true competition is underway. The coaching staff clearly wants to evaluate both options before naming a starter. Let's break it down. Dylan Parham has starting experience at left guard from his first 2 NFL seasons and offers some positional versatility. Though his most recent PFF grades are based on his play at right guard, he's no stranger to the left side. Jordan Meredith, on the other hand, looked solid last preseason and impressed in limited action during the regular season, especially when lined up at left guard. This is going to be one of the more interesting decisions heading into training camp. Who do you think wins the job? If you think it's Dylan Parham, drop a DP in the comments. If you're backing Jordan Meredith, type JM. As for us, we're giving the slight edge to Dylan Parham, based on his experience and prior production. But make no mistake, Meredith is pushing hard and could easily take that job if he continues to perform. Stay tuned. This position battle could go down to the final week of the preseason. Let's wrap up this Raiders offensive line breakdown with one last look at the battle between Jordan Meredith and Dylan Parham for the starting left guard position. Looking purely at performance, Meredith has consistently held his own, especially when paired with offensive line coach James Craig and other linemen like Joe Philbin. He's looked solid no matter who he's lined up next to. The real question now comes down to this. What type of offensive line do the Raiders want to build? If the goal is more power in the trenches, Meredith may be the better fit. If they want more agility and mobility, especially in pass protection or pulling situations, then Parham could be the right choice. As of now, Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant are not in the mix for this battle. Instead, the projected starters, Colton Miller, JPJ, Alex Kappa, and DJ Glaze, appear locked in across the line. But it's the left guard spot that remains unsettled. Earlier this week, a video was released discussing some bad news for a possible Raiders starter, that starter being Dylan Parham. In that video, it was explained that if the Raiders are seriously leaning towards starting Meredith, then Parham could be a trade candidate. Why? Because Parham is entering the final year of his rookie deal. He was also drafted by the previous regime. If he feels the current coaching staff doesn't view him as a starter, he could request a trade to secure playing time elsewhere, especially with this being a contract year. If you haven't already, that video is linked in the comments and description below. It goes deeper into the contract dynamics and how the Raiders' decision at left guard could impact Parham's future with the team. That's all the latest we have as of now. There was no major news from the May 22nd practice, but as soon as more updates come in, we'll have them here for you. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss breaking Raiders news or analysis.